Hey!
Hey!
How do you guys feel about Dead by Daylight? The game has a reputation for being toxic. I'll admit to occasionally complaining in the endgame chat after a loss, but I'm also pretty good at getting into a headspace where I don't really mind losing. Since as a killer main, much of the game is out of my control. The match goes at the survivor's pace, and I'm just along for the ride. The majority of interactions I have with other players is either neutral or quite positive. Rarely do I ever get teabagged or flamed in the endgame chat. I'm not super competitive about this game. Others are. I see a ton of discourse about the meta, which perks and add-ons are the most effective, how to win as quickly and ruthlessly as possible. And to be honest, I don't care for the meta one bit. Being effective is fun, but it's almost always the same. Pop Goes the Weasel, Pain Resonance, Dead Man's Switch, Grim Embrace, Deadlock. These perks are brutally effective, but all of them sort of fall into the same category and promote a similar playstyle. I enjoy more esoteric builds and carving out unique playstyles from that. Here's a fun example. A while back, a big old DBD YouTube kind of guy named Otz made a video about a sort of gen trapping build he found entertaining. It looked esoteric, potentially really effective, and most importantly, to me at least, it looked fun. So I thought, why not? I'll steal this entire idea from him and try it out on my new favorite killer, Pyramid Head. That's why he has that name. Or, that head is why he's named that. I decided to play 5 matches with this build, as well as 2 range add-ons for Pyramid Head's power since those are the only ones worth using. But first, let me quickly go over why this build is so much fun. The racket works like this: Dragon's Grip, Trail of Torment, Overcharge, and Discordance. Discordance highlights any generator being repaired by 2 or more survivors. I go over there and kick the generator. At that point, Dragon's Grip, Overcharge, and Trail of Torment will all activate at once. Trail of Torment is the simplest. It makes me undetectable for as long as the generator keeps regressing. That means no heartbeat for survivors and no red light to show where I'm looking. Overcharge has 2 effects. After kicking a generator, it slowly ramps up the regression speed over time, and the next time a survivor tries to repair the gen, they'll have to complete a really hard skill check. If they fail, the generator explodes again. Not bad, right? That's when Dragon's Grip comes into play. You see, once I've kicked the generator, Dragon's Grip is active for 30 seconds afterward. If a survivor touches that generator during that period of time, even for an instant, they scream, reveal their location to me, and are inflicted with the exposed status effect for the next 60 seconds, which lets me knock them down in one hit, even if they're healthy. Survivors don't usually run too far away from a generator unless they're being chased, so if I kick the gen and then leave, any nearby survivor will be amazed at his luck, wait a bit, and then immediately hop back on the generator to undo my damage. But with this build, doing that is stepping into a bear trap. I mean, the skill check on Overcharge is hard enough, but Dragon's Grip forcing you to scream often forces you to fail the skill check. And now you're exposed, and the killer, who has just gotten a signal of your exact location, will be able to hunt you down and knock you flat in one hit. And I'm undetectable, so I can literally just hide 10 feet away and the survivor might not know I'm so close. It's so evil, I love it. At this point, those of you in my audience who don't play much Dead by Daylight, Peter, will be saying, wow, that's really overpowered. But hold your horses. Dragon's Grip is amazing, so they had to give it a downside. After the effect of the perk ends, it goes on cooldown for a whopping 80 seconds. Trail of Torment lasts as long as the generator is regressing, but when that ends, it goes on cooldown for 60 seconds. That means that for much of the match, you won't have access to 2 of your most powerful perks. Not to mention, if survivors split up and don't all repair the same generator, Discordance will get no value. So let's go over the highlights from my 5 games, cutting all the fat so I don't waste anybody's time. This match lasted 5 minutes and 37 seconds. Yeah, that fast. After an early chase and a free hit,
Why was she just standing there?
Discordance triggers, I abandon Fang where she is, run over, and kick the gen. With my snare in place, I hide around the corner and prepare my attack, waiting for the perfect opportunity to... They went to another gen. Okay, I'll leave. Since I'm still undetectable, I try a cheeky move where I launch my punishment through the wall at the generator. Usually the sound of me planting my big knife in the ground gets survivors moving, but since I have no heartbeat, they aren't on guard. I hit 2 of them at once through a wall. I don't care if it is just luck. That felt great. But at that exact moment, I hear a scream behind me. Kate fell for the trap. I race back and follow her scratch marks. She was smart enough to try and hide, but without my terror radius to give me away, she had no clue I was right at the bottom of this staircase. There's my first hook, a minute and a half into the match. Trail of Torment continues to give me free hooks. Hey guys, how's it going? This match really drove home for me how impactful the heartbeat mechanic is for Killer. Using the terror radius, survivors can easily pinpoint my exact position at all times. Without it, they just never knew where I was. Look at this. Each of these events takes place within 10 seconds of the previous one. Hook, hit, rescue, knockdown, hook, knockdown, hook. 2 are dead at this point. Since I kicked a gen recently, I'm still quiet as a mouse, so this poor Leon goes for the rescue right as I round the corner. Talk about bad luck. I hook him, get lost in Hawkins a bit more, and then Trail of Torment basically wins me the game when Fang runs right into me. She didn't know I was there until it was too late to run. I was in shock at this point. I've had occasional times where I've killed everybody, but I've never won this hard. It wasn't even the build. Dragon's Grip only got me 1 knockdown, the rest was just Trail of Torment giving me tons of value. This is why I didn't just try the build for 1 game. I knew there would be outliers like this, and if I stopped here, we would all believe this build is unstoppable. This one took place on the same map, but it could not have been more different. For starters, they got 4 gens before I got 1 kill. Also, 1 person disconnected immediately and was replaced by a bot. My theory? Her mom said, "Honey, it's dinner time, get off the computer before I turn it off." This match lasted over 15 minutes, and not once did I get value from Dragon's Grip. Renato triggered it, but he kept away from me so long that the exposed timer ran out. It's impressive he was able to loot me for so long without getting hit once, although I do also suck at this game. The only other time it got triggered was the bot, and the bot was already injured, meaning she would have gone down anyway, meaning the exposed effect did nothing. It ended in a tie, with Renato helping the bot escape and the other 2 dead mostly thanks to attrition rather than anything clever on my part. Finally, it's not Hawkins. Let's see how good this build is on a map that isn't literally a hallway. It's alright. Trail of Torment let me get really close to someone before she noticed I was coming and freaked out.
No! God, please, no!
They popped all the gens, but by that time 2 were dead and 1 was on her last legs and went down after the gates were open. Again, I didn't really get much value from the combo. I just chased people and knocked them over without my trickery ever paying off. We went to the Eyrie of Crows. The match lasted 10 minutes. All the gens got popped and every survivor escaped. It was horrible. I hate this stupid crow map. It's big and ugly and I never have fun on it. Never. Alright, let's see what... Hawkins again? No, I'm not counting this one. Nothing in this match matters. I can't just play the same map every time. Okay, wait, I will show you this clip though. That's a triple hit. I love this killer. Okay, Raccoon City Police Department, here we go. It was another stomp. And by that I mean I got stomped. Gens popping left and right, they easily dodged my punishment attacks and sword swings, and were even nice enough to hang around at the exit gate and let me hit them a few times before leaving. There's nothing special they did that I can see, they just stuck to the objective and wasted my time too much for me to really do anything. And my traps always failed since they just never touched a generator after I kicked it. But to be honest, despite the fact that my 5 games ended in 2 wins, 1 draw, and 2 crushing defeats, I think this build is totally worth it. Why? Because it's so fun when it works. When this build works, it is more fun than any meta build, and that matters more to me than consistency. If you've spent a ton of time theory crafting ideal builds, refining your strategy, and still aren't having fun, I suggest doing what I do and trying weirder strategies like this. It's inconsistent, strange, and when it doesn't work, it really doesn't work. But for every time I watch all 4 survivors race out the gates or spend 60 seconds chasing 1 guy while 3 gens get popped behind me, there's another time where I get within smelling distance of survivors before they notice me, or knock down 1 instantly because she fell for my trap, and that is so satisfying. And really, that's what video games are all about. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and get out. Video's over.
I don't need friends, they disappoint me.